Coming up on this episode of SEVA TV, we try cultural cuisines, visit Hawaii, and meet the world hiker. Stay tuned for all this and more, only on SEVA TV.
The video that we turned in is Fight the Bite. My favorite part was just the experience and like just working with technology. Welcome to your Cannoli.
This is the motivation and the teamwork.
You may recognize her as the host from last year's SEVA Award show, but today she's your host for SEVA TV. I'm joined today by Katie, a graduate from Franklin High School. Thanks, Katie, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Because of the pandemic, Katie will be hosting the show remotely. Katie, can you tell us where you're joining us from?
I'm here right at home, hosting directly from my bedroom.
All right, there we go. I'll let you get to it then. Take it away, Katie.
Thanks, Nebaiot, and thank you all for joining us. My name is Katie and I'll be your host. I hope you're up for a little adventure today because we are traveling around the world without ever leaving the house. We'll transport you across the globe through movie magic so you could go ahead and leave your passport behind. Our first destination will be a trip to the streets of India, where Allison and Layla will introduce us to a culinary classic. I'll meet you there.
Hi, my name is Allison. If you have ever been to India, you would notice the popular street foods including pani puri. Pani puri is an Indian culinary dish that is widely popular among the streets of India. The dish originated from Magadh, where many other culinary dishes were evolving. Now, let's go to Tavleen and Layla, who have learned this culinary classic from generations before. They'll be teaching us how to make this mouth-watering ethnic dish.
Namaste! My name is Layla.
And I'm Tavleen.
And today we'll be teaching you how to make pani puri.
The ingredients you will need are pani puri shells, pani puri and chaat masala that you can find at your local Indian store, potatoes, garbanzo beans, red chili powder, onions, cumin powder, coriander leaves, salt, and water.
To start off with, grab your bowl of pani puri masala and mix into the water. Make sure to keep your bowl in the refrigerator for 10 minutes to cool. While the water is cooling,
Grab the potatoes, garbanzo beans, and onions and mix them in a separate bowl.
Mash the potatoes beforehand for better results.
then add 1/4 teaspoon red chili powder, 1 teaspoon chaat masala, and 1 teaspoon cumin powder.
You can also add salt for more flavor. After mixing the ingredients together, set the bowl to the side and make a hole in the pani puri shells.
Use the end of a spoon or fork to make the hole for cleaner results.
Now that all the ingredients are together, set your pani puri shells to the side and grab your vegetable mixture.
You want to evenly distribute the vegetable mixture into the shells.
Now set your vegetable mixture to the side and grab your water mixture, where you will evenly pour the water into the shells.
Now you have your traditional Indian
Street food!
Thanks, Tali and Layla. You guys definitely nailed this dish. I can't believe it's this easy to make pani puri. Now that you know how to make pani puri, don't be afraid to make this dish for you and your loved ones. Food always tastes better with the people you love. Making cultural foods is a great way to bring people of different backgrounds together and preserve an expression of cultural identity. Enjoy!
Next, you could meet me in Little Italy because we are going to learn how to make authentic Italian pastries. Holy cannoli, you're in for a treat! Next up, we sail over to the Philippines with Rexis from Heron School to learn how his family cooks Filipino Menudo. This traditional stew is made with pork and veggies and is best served hot. So let's grab a bowl and chow down.
This is Rexis Bonzon, and we're going to be cooking my family's version of Filipino pork menudo. Now these are the ingredients for Filipino pork menudo. Our first ingredient is 1 1/2 pounds of pre-cut pork belly. The second ingredient is 2 teaspoons of vegetable cooking oil. Our third ingredient is 3 regular sized hot dogs cut into little small pieces. And our fourth ingredient is mixed vegetables. It has carrots, corn, lima beans, green beans, and peas. Our fifth ingredient is menudo mix.
You can get your menudo mix at Seafood City Supermarket.
And our sixth ingredient is 1 1/2 cup of water. First, before you start cooking, you have to wash your hands. Then you should turn on your stove to medium heat. You should add your 2 teaspoons of vegetable cooking oil into the pan. First, before you handle uncooked meat, you should put on gloves. Now you should add your 1 1/2 pounds of pre-cut pork belly. After your meat is on the stove, you should cook it till it's brown. After 5 to 7 minutes, the meat is brown. Since the meat is brown now, we should add the cut up hot dogs. Since the hot dogs are in place now, let's stir it up. Since all the meat is brown, let's add 1 1/2 cup of water. Now you should let it simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. Now we're going to add the mixed vegetables. Now let's add the Menudo mix. Now you have to stir it up. Now after pouring the Menudo mix, you should turn down the heat to low. Now you should let it simmer for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, you should turn off the stove and let the food breathe before serving. After your Menudo is done, you can serve it with some white jasmine rice.
Enjoy.
Thank you for watching me cook my family's version of Filipino pork menudo. Hope you enjoyed.
How good are you with chopsticks? Because our next stop is Japan, where we will learn how to make authentic sushi rolls with Angela and Steven. They will be our tour guides through the art of dragon tempura.
Hello. I'm a guy now. What? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my instructional video on how to make sushi. There are several types of sushi, but we're focusing on tempura and dragon rolls. The tempura roll contains tempura fried shrimp along with vegetables and sesame seeds, where the dragon roll also includes thin slices of avocado.
Oh, I'm back! Anyways, both containing spice drizzles. Now on to the video.
The ingredients you will need includes carrot, pickled radish, cucumber, nori, tempura shrimp, 1 cup of sushi rice, 2.5 tablespoons of rice vinegar, caviar, sesame, avocado, and green bell pepper. Step 1. Preparing the sushi rice. Take 1 cup of sushi rice and clean out the rice by adding water and mix the rice around for about 10 seconds and dump it out. Repeat the process up to 4 times. Add 1.25 cups of water to the rice and place it in the rice cooker. Then close the lid and cook. Next, we're going to fry 5 tempura shrimp in vegetable oil until golden. Once the rice is done cooking, add 2.5 tablespoons of rice vinegar over your freshly cooked rice while it's still warm. Mix for about 2 to 3 minutes, stirring it occasionally to prevent it from scorching. Be careful not to use more than the recommended amount of vinegar. The rice can become soupy and fall apart during the process of rolling. Step 2. Preparing veggies. Cut your filling ingredients into small rectangular pieces. Slice veggies of carrots, pickled radishes, cucumbers, green bell peppers, and avocados to make sure they'll fit in your roll comfortably. Step 3. Assembling the sushi. Place a sheet of nori on your rolling mat with the shiny side down. The nori is an essential component of any sushi roll as the base and wrapper for your roll. Nori is delicate, so handle it gently to avoid tearing. Grab 3/4 to 1 cup of rice and place it in the center of the sheet. Pat the rice down gently with the flat of your fingers to evenly distribute over the surface of the nori. Leave 1 inch of space at the top of the nori to close when rolled. Be careful not to spread the rice too thick. Sprinkle some roasted sesame seeds on top of the rice. Flip the sheet to the other side so that the rice is on the bottom of the nori. Add filling ingredients to the nori. Take about 1/3 of a cup of sliced veggies and 2 tempura shrimp and arrange them in a line. Try to avoid overfilling your roll. Step 4. Rolling. Take the nori closest to you and slide your thumbs under the lower edge to lift up and forward to fold the bottom of the nori over itself. Continue to pull forward carefully and apply light pressure to help mold the roll until it is closed. The dragon roll will be served with avocado slice on top of the roll, and make sure to use saran wrap to cover the avocado. Take the bamboo mat and place over the sushi to shape and hold ingredients together. Repeat the process to make the tempura roll, but without the avocado on the outer top. Cut the rolls 1 to 2 inches apart. Remove the saran wrap from the sushi. Now we're going to plate the sushi rolls. Step 5. Presentation. Serve your roll with other toppings and condiments of your choosing. Sprinkle a pinch of toasted sesame seeds over the top of the roll to add the finishing touches. Plate your rolls with a few slices of pickled ginger, seaweed salad, caviar, and dollops of wasabi. And now we are finished. Enjoy your new freshly made sushi roll.
Hold on to your appetites because we have more amazing dishes coming your way. But first, why don't we take a stop at the beautiful islands of Hawaii? We have island expert Jett with us to share a few local legends he picked up while visiting the islands.
Hello, and we just returned back from a trip to Hawaii, and we wanted to tell you guys about some legends and myths we learned about. First is the Menehune. Menehune, the little people of Hawaii, legendary creatures called Menehune, weave a charming spell throughout the Hawaiian Islands. Believed to be dwarf-like expert, masons are said to have conjured enormous rock structures done overnight.
Next is the myth of Sharkman. Ancient Hawaiian mythology speaks of a sharkman named Nanue, born in Huaipu Valley. Nanue was the son of the shark king Kamalehe and a Hawaiian maiden named Kailei. One day Kailei took Nanue to bathe in a stream, and he transformed into the form of a shark, chasing and eating all the creatures in the stream.
Next, the legend of the Night Marchers. According to the legend, the Night Marchers were ancient Hawaiian warriors. Today, their spirits are said to roam various areas on the island. which were great battlefields. They appear as ghostly appearances who carry torches and play drums while they chant.
Last, we have the two goddesses. A long time ago in the old Hawaii, there were two goddesses who were worshipped in the temples, Kiawahine and Huame. When it was time for Huame to marry, she took Puna, the chief of Oahu, as her husband. What Huame did not know, however, was that Kiawane wanted to take the chief Puna for herself.
We hope you guys enjoyed these stories from Hawaii. Goodbye.
Nebaiot sat down recently with producer Jett during a Zoom interview to catch up on what he has been doing during quarantine.
I'd like to discuss the impacts the coronavirus has had on travel. So with us today, we have Jett joining us from home. How are you doing, Jett?
Good.
Pretty good. So we're here because of the Hawaii video you made, which was pretty cool. Why did you pick the topic to begin with?
I was on my way for a vacation to go to Hawaii, so I didn't have an idea at that point, so I just started to record my SEVA there, so I thought it was cool because I started learning about the legends of Hawaii in Hawaii.
Has the pandemic changed your perspective on travel?
Yes.
How did it do that?
Because now you have to stay 6 feet apart, wear a mask wherever you go. And if you are going to Hawaii, you have to have a 14-day quarantine.
If you were making the video today during all of this, what challenges do you think you'd run into?
Having to stay away from everything and probably having to stay in the hotel room or a house for most of the time.
How do you think you would have made the video with all those challenges?
Just mostly recording stuff by myself because I can't be near anyone. Mm-hmm. And some of the stuff would be inside.
So what video projects are you working on now?
Mostly like tutorials on how to do stuff in my YouTube. DIYs most of the time.
What's the most recent one you made?
My dad actually built a poker table, so I did a video on that.
Jett, do you have any advice for kids wanting to make videos at home?
Yes. If you have a camera at home, you could use that, but if you don't have a camera, then you could start using your phone camera.
If you could go anywhere once the pandemic's over, where would it be and why?
The Bahamas, because I have never been to the Bahamas before, and all my friends keep saying that it's really nice there, so I want to try it.
All your friends went to the Bahamas?
Not all of them, most of them.
That sounds really fun. All right, well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, and I look forward to seeing more videos by you in the future.
Thank you.
So that concludes our quick tour around the world. We've seen so many cultures today and tried their foods, but there is still so much more to explore and try out there. For our last stop, let's return home to meet a Spanish teacher in our community who is known as the World Hiker.
People value things a lot in the U.S., so we compare ourselves with other people. Material things kind of fade away sooner or later, and so I'd rather have experiences over things anytime.
Summer travel season gets underway. We're highlighting a teacher at Rio Americano High School.
It happens to be a local Spanish teacher, but you're also known as the World Hiker, and you have your own website, theworldhiker.com, a great Facebook page with photographs that look like they should be in a book or magazines. They're just stunning.
A local Spanish teacher is traveling the world showing his students, friends, and family that there is good all around.
It's true. How many times in your life do you meet someone that does not procrastinate reaching those goals? How many times do you see someone that wants to see the world but doesn't follow it up with the, I'll do it when I retire? You know, it's so easy to get caught up with everyday life that we forget that there are other things outside the boundaries of our homes. He took the death of his brother and instead of sitting in sorrow and grief, decided to mold that and travel in his brother's honor. Visiting almost every country in the world where just by looking at his passport he could tell you stories among every one of those 10 terabytes of footage. going hiking all the way to the top of the mountains and snorkeling with the sharks just below the oceans, winning a marathon in Portugal, visiting 191 countries so far on just one backpack. He came back a different person. A year after he finished college, he decided to travel and work abroad. He taught full-time in Mexico, Colombia, Bolivia, Brazil, and became fluent in Spanish and Portuguese. He learned to be patient, to have trust, to build a community of people that produce positivity, to believe that there is good. Now at 34, Brian Asher has created a wonderful community with 6 more countries to go. He ran across the Grand Canyon and back to total about 50 miles of running. He felt a sense of accomplishment and joy seeing what he was capable of. He says, "We're blessed. A lot of things are taken for granted. We're more similar than we're different, and goals in life are not to be postponed because the future is not guaranteed. It's not okay to have stereotypes, and everyone has problems. It's a matter of," he says, "either blaming them on someone or going forward and being positive."
So I think a lot of people assume that you have to be rich to travel, and my family never could travel. We never left the country. And so I worked from when I was 12 years old. Odd jobs, pruning trees, mowing lawns, taking care of cats and dogs, walking pets, cleaning rain gutters, doing everything I could. A lot of people complain that teachers don't make any money, but I know that a lot of people in other countries make way less, and so I feel fortunate.
And because visiting every country in the world and teaching in 4 countries is not enough, Brian Asher wanted to share his experience with the world. At first, he didn't have any clue on how to make or produce videos, so he asked the help of students at Rio to teach him the basics. Outside of school, he has taught English to almost 20 Russians just by making videos. So what is he going to do after completing the journey? Well, go back to visiting his favorite countries to discover more.
And this is where our paths diverge. I hope you are feeling inspired to see the world for yourself one day, whether that means backpacking through Europe or just exploring your hometown. Whatever you decide to do, please remember that we are still in a pandemic, so take all the precautions to travel safely, and hopefully our paths cross again soon. Okay, bye! All right, Nebaiot, now back to you.
Thanks, Katie. That was wonderful. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of SEVA TV. Thank you for joining us, and remember, if you'd like to see more student videos or want to find out how you can enter into the SEVAs, check out our website at secctv.org. I'm Nebaiot. Thank you for watching.